The Order and their presiding bishop seem trustworthy enough. Have you seen their wireless advertising? Nothing's ever new or 110% improved. So honest, it's boring.
Cowards! You've never bested me without subterfuge! Unhand me, and I'll show you how a true acolyte fights!
Enemy will... Consider self-preservation a priority. Reviving me is in everyone's best interest.
Cowards! You've never bested me without subterfuge! Unhand... And I'll show you how a true acolyte fights!
Suffered excessive damage. Investigating hostile intentions. Vitals critical. Don't become a statistic, Commander.
Wow, what a hard bargain. Think I prefer my odds with a locked door between us.
I'm here at the behest of the exalted leader. You betrayed the glorious dawn.
Architect's balls! That was some fine killing! Would have preferred you'd left one or two of those traitorous miscreants for me to sharpen my blade on, but no matter. Serves me right trying to help those sorely lacking in the gray matter. But they rightly paid for their transgression. Betraying someone sent by the exalted leader of the glorious dawn herself warrants a painful death. Name's Azza. You are? We are simply a group of enlightened individuals seeking to spread the truth of the rifts, despite our persecution by those who seek to keep the masses aimless and distraught. The rifts only seem destructive because we are looking at them from the point of view of imperfect, mortal bodies. To be deconstructed by a rift is to be reborn in perfection. The rifts are a device of the architect to hasten humankind's perfection. They reduce whatever comes into contact with them to mathematically perfect information. We are nothing but that information, but we cannot see that because we exist in a chaotic and disordered reality. The universe is decaying, and our efforts to manage it are futile. The rifts are a perfectly ordered phase of existence. No chaos, no striving, no suffering. Peace and unity with the architect themselves.
Ridiculous. The rift's existence is an anomaly, nothing more. Their existence begs for correction.
I see no need to respond to such heresy. You are obviously ill-informed. I have similar business at the N-Ray range. These fools were only part of the contingent that betrayed me. I aim to see them pay the same price, though maybe with more disemboweling. I could use your help there, and I'm sure my particular talents could be of service to you. If you'd deign to take me on, of course. Nothing that will live to regret, but it seems like you've already a full contingent with you.
If you say so. Try not to get into too much trouble without me.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go kill us some traitors.
don't always have to go right for dismemberment, Asa. Consider a more subtle approach. You know, death by 1,000 cuts.
Only 1,000 cuts? I once cut down a skeptic with 1,100 cuts. At least that's when I stopped counting.
The fact that you counted does not make the story less unsettling.
Initiate Carrington, audio log entry 10. My orders were to watch for the enemy. Specifically, to never break line of sight to my assigned field of view. But I can hear them advancing along the shore to the south. It's fine. Others have been assigned that field of vision. This is the most efficient method of defense. Architect, they're getting closer. Perhaps I'm taking my orders too literally? I'll just... No. Trust in the equation. Trust in those greater than I in the order. I will keep looking forward for enemies from that vector. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I have faith that the architect...
This one appears to have been too terrified to even look at us. I almost feel bad killing him. Almost.
That's the range, Commander.
This will be glorious.
Sharp enough.
That wasn't intentional.
Torpificator is charged.
Better sleep with both eyes open.
Getting in the front door. Always another way in, though.
Now this is just sloppy. If I wasn't already here to kill all these traitorous fools, I'd be forced to use one or two as an example to the rest. Stop your silliness, fool! The only ones losing body parts around here today are you and your traitorous friends!
.36 cubed divided by the standard rate of fluid flow, and then you multiply by, is it 30 or, oh, hello.
Look at the state of this poor fool. They just left her bleeding out? Exsanguination is an art. Where's the precision, the pride in their work? This is just embarrassing.
There's a cultist behind you. Wait, surely she isn't with you. Fine. Just please keep her away from me. Architect's mercy, thank you. It is so much easier to be polite when I needn't fear all of my bones sliding out of my body. Oh, Dear Archivist Clemens has been so strange lately. So distant, so agitated. And not his normal agitation, mind you. This is something different. Much worse. He's deeper in the facility, working on something he deemed to be of the utmost importance. Either he is still below, continuing said work, or he is quite dead. And with all those cultists gallivanting about, I don't fancy his odds.
Please, with the way my so-called brethren are comporting themselves, he's more likely to die of boredom. If I was in charge here, all of you'd be dead. He soon will be.
Yes. I'm sure you'll kill them quite well. The crazed cultist, people like your friend here, have been sowing destruction throughout the range for days. I've seen few firsthand, but that isn't because they've gone. Rather, I believe they have become visibility deficient. There's no such thing as invisibility. I can only theorize that their visual forms were sent out of phase when they haphazardly tampered with pressurized N-rays.
Their actions are inexcusable. Science allows us to unveil the wonder of the rifts. We do not disrespect it. Now, is there any science around here we can use to find and kill them?
It's a shame the facility is in shambles. We have an N-ray scanner device that may render the cultists far easier for one to locate. The scanner is an optical device designed to detect electrical signals and the N-rays given off by all living beings. Visible or not, the cultists still give off N-rays. It was stored nearby. But with the damage to the facility, you'll likely need to use the maintenance vent on the wall there behind the screen to get anywhere near it. I appreciate your aid. I'm going to wait here and try to prevent my wounds from reopening. I appreciate your help. Dying makes it so difficult to see there was...
Fear not, my brethren. The eyes of the unworthy cannot behold our transcendent forms.
There's the N-ray device that Exemplar Foxworth mentioned. Get on with the killing.
You've opened the way forward. Quite good work.
Resorting to fight by my neck. Consider self-preservation a priority.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
You there. You must leave. Is that a cultist with you?
Don't worry. I'm not like these idiots running around here haplessly. If I was here to kill you, it would be no random thing. You'd know it. Are we here to kill this guy, Commander? Good point. We'll kill him after we get the information.
I have nothing to say to the likes of you, except if you attempt to interrupt my work, you will no doubt meet the same end as your fellows. Leave, and you may yet live.
This guy is hilarious. Can't wait to see the look on his face when he realizes how much more worried he should have been about me than all the other nonsense around here. Where are you going? Our task here is yet unfinished. There are still traitorous swine drawing breath. I suppose you know what you are doing, but we'll need to return eventually to finish this lot off.
Victor, I fully understand the importance of your work. This is exactly why I push you so. Your moral justifications for delaying your delivery are misguided. Dead is dead. What matter is it if their ends come in 1 minute or 3? If you seek to be humane in your duties, fine. So long as I get the explosives in time. But if we fail to act, the Order will be lost forever. Collateral damage was always inevitable, Victor. You knew this. And the longer you take in your laboratory, the greater your risk of being caught becomes. If that happens, you know what must be done. But I should remind you that such a failure will result in vastly more suffering for all parties involved. We need those explosives now, Victor. Let's finish this.
Hostile. Enemy
Suspended a box of purple-berry crunch across my work desk.
Look at the
unfriendly company.
It's Corrigan.
Sleep with both eyes open.
Why don't you unlock the door and come out, Sprat? To the end.
Go for torpification.
You, friend of friends, are a greater ally than any number of fellow scienticians. Oh, thank you very, very much for dealing with those cult... it seems you missed one.
What? Where? I thought we dispatched with all of those traitorous charlatans. Fine. Just trying to add some levity into this pathetic creature's drab existence.
I can see it would be best for me to tactically overlook your comrade. Very well. I see you possess our N-ray scanner. Ooh, ingenious device. If I'd had it, I may have evaded being trapped here. Oh, I shouldn't have had to worry. Damn that Victor and damn his hubris. fitting that his experiment would cause so much strife, and he would be untouched by the ensuing pandemonium. Pardon my excitement. It's been an eventful day. I don't know the specifics, only that Victor was performing a procedure utilizing processed N-rays. When those cultists flooded the range, they damaged the N-ray canisters. In the ensuing chaos, Victor's experiment was destroyed. I know some cultists were killed, but many more still live, moving unseen through the range. Because he refused to follow procedure. He didn't take an assistant or allow anyone to see his data, and now it's all consigned to oblivion. What a waste. There's no such thing as invisibility. The cultists are out of phase. Also, I strongly recommend against exposing yourself to processed N-rays. Most of the cultists died immediately upon exposure, and according to past experiments, those that haven't are experiencing accelerated organ liquefaction. But if you're not attached to the solid state of your organs, I suppose it might be nice to be less visible for a few hours. Although it requires further investigation and experimentation, out of phase refers to a shift in the dimensional presence of these cultists. They are physically here, but only partially, hence their unseen state. It's fascinating. But the outstanding fear for my life has made it difficult to think scientifically. Oh, believe me, this is more excitement than I ever wanted. I shall.
further damage, Commander.
How many times must I say only death lies ahead? Observe. Being persistent. The time for that is over. Please.
Limit further damage, Commander. You try to limit further damage, Commander.
damage, Commander.
I never wanted this situation to escalate like this. You must understand. But now, all that I wanted is cast to the wind. There is but one option left to me. To save Arcadia, to ensure the future, we must both die. I was warned that you would attempt to. You would use subterfuge to sway me. I cannot allow this. I cannot allow our efforts to be in vain. If DeVries does not receive my explosive, she will resort to a violent assault. Many will die, pointlessly, and in agony. I can at least deliver them an instant, painless death. I thought this explosive vest would be an unnecessary precaution. All I can hope is that by blasting us both from the field of play, the Order shall find its way to truth. Want has nothing to do with it. I have very specific instructions on how to proceed in the face of contingencies such as yourself. And you cannot possibly understand whether I am or am not capable of martyrdom. You do not know my depth of character. You read my terminal. I cannot. No. I deny what you're saying. Whatever my personal feelings, the Order's success is more important. You're not with the Order. You cannot understand why this would be. Could I explain, the words would be lost on you.
I beg to differ. I'd likely understand any analytical or theoretical justification you claim to have better than you do, scientician.
I heard tell of an Order operative recently being spotted in the field. A legendary figure who'd been absent for years. One who'd be eminently capable of understanding the difficult decisions that must be made for humankind's ascension. That's you, isn't it? The endpoint?
You are correct, Victor. I am the endpoint, and I am well equipped to understand your reasoning, should it be sound.
Very well. I can spare words with you. Explain my perspective. It won't prevent me from doing what I must. If the Order is not prevented from reaching its true potential and solves the universal equation, all scientific uncertainty and any associated suffering will end. If what you say is true, then you have my tentative thanks. However, scientific certainty would absolutely have prevented that from happening. We would have predicted it. DeVries opened my eyes. The Order is on the path to absolute truth. And if they are not interrupted, this truth can be pursued. The one right path for humanity revealed to us. Politics cannot bind us. Uncertainty cannot strangle. And no one can be allowed to waltz in and hurl our plans into disarray. What? How do you not understand the present situation? What coward would strap an explosive device to himself? That's not all this. Helping DeVries, completing the work on my explosives is important. It matters. DeVries agrees. Augustine couldn't have done such a thing. She was on a secret mission at the time. I don't wish to believe you, but what you're saying has the ring of truth to it. I've been a fool going along with this farce. But it stops now. My relationship with Augustine is at an end.
This poor fool seemed intent on doing himself and us both. Impressive work convincing him otherwise. Let's say I have a go at him with my disemboweling knife. See what he knows. Your loss. Don't like to boast, but I am quite the artiste with a knife.
I believe that's another thanks I owe you. You certainly keep interesting company. I found a way to, via the use of processed N-rays, send objects out of phase. It was inconsistent, but I was close to isolating the procedure. DeVries needed explosives for her plan. By making them unseen, the explosives could be placed as efficiently as possible. No one would be maimed or injured, just killed. Saying that out loud now, it sounds unreal. But somehow, I convinced myself that leaving no survivors was more humane. It's a shame I can't speak to a vicar. I appreciate your consideration. Things could have been very different had your cooler head not prevailed. Here, it is the key to my quarters. Take whatever you find. That will ensure that I cannot use any of it to further DeVries' aims, even if I wanted to. You've certainly convinced me I cannot remain here. May we meet again, when the paths of our lives are at greater apexes.
My fellow Loyalists, it is time. Due to the Earth Directorate operatives' continued meddling, we must increment our timetable by a factor of hours, not days. Accordingly, our forces have taken over the monastery. Those I predetermined to be resilient to reason have been executed. The rest should not cause us trouble. I have locked the lift to prevent the agent from reaching the monastery, but the following code will grant you access. 34145. I will continue my work from here, supplying Augustine with everything she needs for our plan to succeed, and delaying the agent as I'm able to. May the results of our actions today secure a more prosperous tomorrow for our sacred order.
Swear I can't lie low for 20 years without everything in the Order falling apart. Well, suppose we better head to the monastery now, yes?
Boy, damn it! We've killed every traitor in this place, but their treasonous scum of a hierarch wasn't among them. The leader of a cell. In this case, that would be Ziegler. And extinguishing him is obviously our next priority. They were operating under his orders. But since he wasn't here to lead them in person, they would have maintained regular contact using one of our communication devices. I saw one of them earlier. We should go see what information it will yield to us. I'll mark your map with its location.
You don't always have to go right for dismemberment, Asa. Consider a more subtle approach. You know, death by 1,000 cuts.
Only 1,000 cuts? I once cut down a skeptic with 1,100 cuts. At least that's when I stopped counting.
The fact that you counted does not make the story less unsettling.
find any good scraps today?
Enemy spotted.
Suffered extensive damage, Commander.
Hostile in proximity.
You got my top!
Those are in the red, Commander.
I'm going to lend a hand at the exclusion center. Tend to the injured as best I can.
That's very good of you. Doc Beardsley needs all the help he can get.
Besides, maybe I can earn enough bits to get us passage off-world. Gotta be green.
I miss my sprats.
Algorithmic dissonance? Don't even like the sound of it. How could something be
Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings.
Why, the very idea is preposterous.
Just be grateful for what you have.
Ruth Bassar is the first among equals of the Laureate Council. She will raise humanity to perfection.
Grand Architect! Agent! Oh, thank good odds and high probabilities you're back. There's been an incident. A rogue faction has taken over the monastery. My seer, Seer Wiley, is trapped up there with other hostages of the Order. To make matters worse, my access code's not working. Without it, I've no way of calling the lift. Peace talks? Yes, Ruth informed me, but how did you learn of them? No one outside a select circle are supposed to be aware they're happening. Representatives of Auntie's Choice in the Order are meeting to discuss an armistice and possible collaboration. It's an unprecedented opportunity to shorten this war. I know I mentioned it before, but compartmentalization is crucial to the success of most of the Order's operations. I wish I could offer more details than that. But I'm afraid I won't be accompanying you. I can't be sure my presence wouldn't alter the outcome of your efforts in prodigious and unforeseen ways. No? How grand! Then we are already in alignment. Once you reach the monastery, make your way to the observatory. If the conspirators are seeking the coordinates of the talks, no doubt their efforts will be concentrated there. Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you.
Rogue can support us?
I am 100% certain that its tensile strength is marginally greater than our combined weight. Probably.
Wait, look! Someone just came up via the lift. It must be unlocked.
We'd love to help, but not as much as we prefer to leave. Plan guide you.
Watch out for Wiley. He's accounted for everything. He'll know you're coming.
I swear, the more he talks, the more pain it makes me want to inflict on his person.
And do not hesitate. The time for ideation. Now is the time for execution.
Repetition was not so dissimilar to us. He got in his jumpsuit 1.3 past legs at a time.
Nice of you, one.
Unfriendly company. They're not.
Sorry. Could you
That device may be the deciding factor in life, live or die in your future. Unless you can expedite hemostasis and proliferate new tissue on your own within a fraction of a second.
But I have been told.
For top of the patient.
Rejuvenation device.
Gun ready. Negative. Recharge incomplete.
Malai, who needs to die?
Architect's perspiring brow if you Armed conflicts are not the inevitability you are making them out to be, Anya, but rather the result of a populace failing to adhere to scientism's stoic imperative.
Oh, and I suppose we're going to pretend the second pillar doesn't exist? I must have just imagined reading Alfred Long's 75 thesis on determinism then.
Anchorites. Be warned. Any conversation with these two may prove pedantic.
I'm aware of the errors of his methodology, but Long's overall opinion is still... Wait, why am I arguing with you about this?
Actually, an outside opinion might be useful at this juncture. Our current topic is whether war is ever justified. For the sake of time, please keep your answer brief. And how do you predetermine the harm of action against the harm of inaction?
We make those estimates all the time. That's the whole reason we employ seers.
We're going in circles again. If only we had access to the materials we requested, perhaps we could settle this debate.
I need the book Only Real Numbers, The Casualties of Appeasement by Exemplar Kwong. Second edition, not the first. That's important.
And I require Archivist Mahler's dissertation on de-escalation theory. You should be able to locate both pieces of scholarship in the scriptorium. I'd also caution against borrowing additional titles. The scribes are absolute fusspots when their work goes missing.
Augustine? Sure. She's got a mind for provocative hypotheticals. Asked a lot more interesting questions than we normally get.
I will add it has been some time since we last saw her. Not since before the schism, in fact. Why do you ask?
Augustine was obsessed with the Rift. She wanted to know all the potential routes the Order might take to deal with it. We explained that the Rift is an aberration of the plan's natural order, corrupting time and space and creating uncertainty. Consequently, all efforts should be made to close it.
Apologies, but gossip doesn't fall under our purview. We've secluded ourselves here to avoid such distractions, so I would thank you to exclude us from any remote drama. I'm sure I have no notion of what you're referring to.
Good for him. About time someone put theory into application.
What my colleague means is Landon Wiley is among our most gifted and dedicated seers. Whatever actions he's taken must be in service of the plan. I do hope no one's been hurt, though. I see. That is distressing to hear. But as we in the Order like to say, the plan actuates by deliberate means. Let us hope this conflict resolves itself soon. Much appreciated. We'll present our final arguments once you've returned with the research.
Those are N-ray junction boxes. That scanner might be useful to see how this place is wired up.
Sharpen up. Hostile.
Investigating hostile intentions. Whoever wired this place should be shot. Rewired and penetrate forward.
Gun weapon ready.
you acquired the scholarship we asked for. You're in luck. I just finished my third reread of it. Chapter 47 is a real treat. When we're finished speaking, I'll put it in the collection drawer. But do take care with it, especially around the bath. We lose more good books that way. Much appreciated. We'll present our final arguments once you've returned with the research.
Resorting to violence.
Unfriendly nearby.
Nowhere near as interesting as the taxidermied cross-sections displaying their internal organs I made when I was a child.
this is quite modest. Very simple and austere. Can hardly guess who lives here. Did the abbot take a vow of resplendency?
Centuries, if not millennia. Agent arrives. I need more time to finish my work, so I've prepared a choice for you. The hostages in the card press before you will die unless you intervene. If you go through the door on the right, you'll find the means to save them by solving a simple puzzle. Leave through the other door, however, and they will die, screaming in abject terror. But how could you call yourself an Earth Directorate agent if you allowed that to transpire?
As if we'd fall for their stalling tactics just to watch these poor fools die slowly and horribly, mangled like punch cards. What were we talking about again? I prefer to kill my enemies first, innocent hostages later.
Entirely depends on your priorities. My former department would say keeping on mission is of paramount importance. But I no longer think I agree.
Definitely not. We should be the only ones killing hostages around here.
Like the cut of your jib. Hard way it is, then.
Praise high probability. Wiley trapped us here. He let some others go, but didn't even give us the chance to surrender.
He's lost his wits! Kept going on about his puzzle in the research wing upstairs. That must be where he hid the key to stop the press.
Hurry!
Let me guess. That safe won't open until we solve this puzzle. Seems like stacking the deck for a predictable behavior analysis.
This must be the so-called puzzle they expect us to waste our time on. Looks like it was constructed by a child.
Combat problem.
Corporificator at ready status. way to get the ball rolling. This laborious exercise is obviously intended to consume precious time.
See? Didn't I tell you our friend would be back?
Hurry! Disable the card press machine!
Take the arc.
Time will tell if that was a good idea.
Not that I was concerned. Mind you.
Thank you, stranger. We should be okay here for now. Go pay Wiley his just dividends. For all of us.
What did I tell you? All according to the plan.
Yeah, Wiley's plan, which almost killed us.
Careful.
Then he tells me. Oh well.
Stormificator is charged. Hostilities are afoot. Suffered extensive damage. status?
Scoping out a hostile.
Then he tells me.
Threat detected.
Oh, well.
Standing by to stupefy.
Who needs to die?
Mobilizing.
Mind the hop.
Recharge the mayhem! Restore my life or avenge my death!
Random element. Aggressor at hand.
Consider self-preservation a priority. Standing by to stupefy.
Enemy spotted.
Vitals are in the red, Commander.
Restore my life or avenge my death!
Stun weapon ready, Commander. Try to limit further damage, Commander.
No target, no attack. Taking the fight out of them. Mitigating the threat.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Doesn't appreciate a good... orrery. Worthless people, that's who.
cannot believe Clemens fell for whatever half-baked argument you managed to cobble together. That imbecile. And Svoboda. I thought her more capable. You may have bested my peers, but they were never my equal anyway. And neither are you. You took so long, I was beginning to think my little puzzle actually stumped you. You seem confused. Allow me to delineate on the totality of your failure. Saving the hostages delayed you just long enough for me to complete my work. I was able to transmit not only the coordinates for the peace talks, but also the station security protocols, giving Augustine control over its automechanicals. She has everything. That's preposterous. In a transparent attempt at sowing discord between us, I haven't the time nor desire to enumerate the failings in your logic. Suffice to say, you misunderstand the basic fundamentals of my objectives. The Order has been dislocated from its ideals, becoming the opposite of all they espouse. De Vries and I are merely providing a necessary realignment.
All I hear is empty bluster from an amateur schemer whose only success so far is failing loudly at a sloppy plan. This slapdash takeover of yours is graceless and rushed and reeks of ineptitude and desperation. In my day, we did these things with considerable more efficiency and panache.
And who are you, exactly?
Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor, Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
The endpoint. No. The improbability of you interrupting my plans at this singular moment beggars belief.
Our aims are so similar, I'd almost consider joining you. Had you not proven yourself such bumbling fools, dragging me into your mess. Consider how much uncertainty has been introduced into your equations. Can you have any confidence in your predictions at this point?
What in the Architect's computational summary are you on about? This proves nothing, except your willingness to trespass into other people's correspondence, and Joseph's inability to express himself clearly in the written form. I can't conceive of a reason why my survival should matter to you.
Only the vainly short-sighted undermine their own future.
However, as a matter of professional curiosity, let's entertain the hypothetical. I stand down. Then what? If my numbers had supported such an outcome, do you truly believe I would have elected for all this disorder? None of this is going according to my calculations. I certainly failed to predict your attempt to negotiate. How could I have failed to recognize such gaps in my predictions? I checked and triple-checked. What more could I have done? Where did I err? Enough! Please. Your point has been sufficiently made, and I truly lack the capacity to debate you further. I've already sent Augustine everything she needs, but all our communications are on this terminal. It is yours to peruse.
Though I cannot say whether the information will be useful. Obviously, my analytical acumen is not what I'd assumed. All I know is that I was never meant to stop you. Now I must send word to my allies here at the monastery to stand down and notify them of my resignation from the Order. Effective immediately. To believe I mattered in the plan's grand scheme.
I have grown worried. I have not received word from Archivist Clemens in some time, and I imagine you would have relayed any pertinent information by now. I fear this bodes ill. Without him, our only option is a direct assault. A risky proposition, to be sure. The last thing any of us want is for our plan to spiral out of control. And so it falls on you to seize back that control. Use the methods we discussed to take command of the monastery. When it is done, I will send further instruction. You have my trust. See that it is not misplaced. I'm much obliged for your tireless work. With this knowledge of Greater Tranquility Substation and its security codes, our plans for the peace talks can finally be spurred into motion. However, without Archivist Clemens and his explosives at our disposal, we've no choice but to proceed with our contingency plan. A direct assault. Though the codes will allow me control of the automechs on the station, we'd best accept now that more lives may be lost than previously assumed. Yet we must act unflinchingly. To fail now would mean the end of everything.
We should get ourselves to those peace talks post-haste, Commander. Wouldn't want to miss out on any of the mayhem and carnage.
Huh? Yeah.
Agent, over here. It seems the situation here has been resolved, but I don't see Seer Wiley. Were you able to secure his safety? What? No, but that can't possibly be true. Landon would never align himself against the Order. Against a friend? You must be mistaken. Or maybe his calculations led him astray. Yes, that must be what happened. Indeed, just a small error. Were you able to speak with him? Help him recover his senses? I'm greatly relieved to hear it. Did he mention me at all? Allow me to reframe my inquiry. Did he show remorse for his actions? Any regret for betraying those who fitted him inside the narrow circumference of their trust? I'm sure you also think me to blame for all of this. But you have to understand my position. How ill-equipped all in the Order are for this new world. With the schism and now the war, the Order stands alone for the first time in its storied history. We have no experience with governance. Well, myself especially.
Yes, that little habit's what got you into this mess. Show some gumption. You're the senior highest-ranking scientician here. Stand in front. Command.
Quite right. No time for wallowing. From this point forward, I will lead by example. Or try to. I suppose there really is no other alternative. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for your assistance in reclaiming the monastery. Regrettable as the business was. You are welcome to collect the experimental weapon inside the observatory, the Oracle. It was Landon's design. Only seems fitting you take it. This key will unlock the case. May all your future endeavors proceed in accordance to the plan.
I don't know what you're complaining of. We emerged totally unscathed.
I'd estimate I'm 43.11% scathed.
Then increment your bravery.
timing. We're nearly finished reviewing the materials you brought us. Oh, well now, this is unexpected. The arguments in this text seem to have highlighted a teleological flaw I fear my own argument shares.
You too, huh?
Under certain conditions, de-escalation becomes impossible, leading to negative outcomes, including outright annihilation. An annihilated entity cannot advance the plan.
But maybe annihilation itself serves a purpose we're simply unaware of. You were right before. Participating in a war only produces an entropic feedback loop.
I see someone has been reading On the Origin of Sprats. It has that effect on people.
Mental carceration and the potential unreality of conscious experience adds an interesting dimension to the argument. It's certainly worth exploring.
Perhaps later. For now, I feel we should reward our guest with their choice of reward, given the idiosyncratic nature of his conclusion. Armor or weapon? Very well. You can retrieve it from the same drawer where you deposited our research materials. We appreciate your time. If you have a spare 4 hours, feel free to stay and observe our period of silent, sustained reading. Otherwise, until we next confer.
not even void at all. I told him he wasn't going to make it. Is this why Riley Zilk spared him? Because Roger always said he wanted his body donated to the Order if it'd help advance the plan. But I'm sure this wasn't what he had in mind.
Welcome back. Any luck enlisting help?
Where do we go?
Can't believe them. Aren't those the people you, helped, Commander?
Are you
Maybe there's something to the Order's prediction nonsense after all.
that will cause trouble, and I will school you.
The Order was right. How?
I have nothing to say.
I suppose I could spare 0.004% of my daily cycle.
In which
to
case,
say hello.
you're not in the mood for a random interaction. Thank you.
Don't bother conversating unless you're prepared to cite your sources.
One never relishes saying we did. The meaning of life is numeric, and we are the keepers of the illusion.
You take care now. You hear?
By calculating the position of every atom in the universe, we can predict the future.
Such a
control
tragic
reality,
loss of life.
and ascend to a state of
On the bright
control.
side, more soup for everyone.
Algorithmic thus?
If we compare the rates of...
How do you do, stranger? Always nice to see a friendly face around Matriarch's Mercy. Though it's a pity I can't lend more aid to our downtrodden collective. I'm just a humble taxidermist. What? And you think that's me? Listen, friend, a little skill with needle and thread does not make me a qualified medical professional. Am I supposed to find that encouraging? Have it your way, then. I know when I'm being voluntold. But you better make it worth my while. Before I agree to anything, I need sprat corpses. Several. And no victims of violence, please. My art depends on the quality of the sleeve. The term is industry standard. And a taxidermist without standards is never a pretty sight. I used to source all of my sprats from a local trapper, Frankie Billings. No idea if she's still in business. Word has it she's out north in Auntie's Choice territory, so watch yourself. Fresh being the operative word. My thanks, stranger.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to heaven?
Fish. Between the invaders, water defecting, there's no putting this sprat back in the camp.
Looking pretty good right about now.
Patience is commendable, passenger. Please continue waiting quietly until the next tram arrives. Stay vigilant. Report any suspicious activity to your nearest station warden. The plan can wait. Our lines will not. Good subjects arrive early to avoid missing their tram.
Attention, freelancer, you are currently heading into no man's land. We strongly recommend you return.
What is with the...
Commander, if I know one thing for certain, murdering members of the Order isn't my role within the Grand Plan. Let me make this clear, Commander. If we ever attack the Order again, the true Order, not those break-off defectors, I'm done. I walk.
Curious.
Investigating hostile intentions.